Hello, if you're here, you probably want to learn how to edit your videos in Imovie, but make them look like they were edited in Final Cut Pro. If that's the case, you've come to the right place because in today's video, I am sharing all of my editing secrets and showing you how I edit each and every one of my videos right here on my MacBook. You might want to stick around because I'll be going over how I prep and film my videos, add overlays like these, how I add cute text like this, transitions like these, and so much more. Let's go. Hey guys, alright, that was a fun little intro I filmed a couple days ago to share a little preview of everything that I'll be talking about in this video. All things editing, I'm so excited. Alongside that stuff, I'm also going to be covering thumbnails, music, color correcting, all that jazz, hopefully giving you guys basically a little bit of a guide to iMovie or my shortened down best version of that. Let's just jump in. So first thing is planning. When I first started my channel, I had absolutely no method of planning whatsoever. And I do not recommend that. I got to a point where I was super overwhelmed trying to figure out how in the world do I contain all of these ideas that I have in one place. Anyway, my first thought was, oh, I'll just use the notes app, start writing down every single idea, maybe put a couple dates in there. I did that, I think, for like 2 years straight. So it was a little bit functional, but I was always worried in the back of my mind, like, what if this somehow deletes, I lose my phone, I lose my computer, and I no longer have these notes and it's truly my entire video plan. So I switched over to a color-coded spreadsheet like the one you see on the screen, and it has absolutely changed my life and the way that I plan my videos. It's so much easier and it's a much more organized way of doing things. So I have color-coded this spreadsheet where I have the month, date, title of the video, whether or not it's completed, and then a whole other section dedicated to my ideas or things I want to post in the future, events in my life coming up, all that jazz. Okay, my last little tidbit about planning is to always have your videos planned out a month in advance. That way you know what you're filming, you know if you have to get B-roll, prep with notes, or anything like that. All right, after a video is planned out, the next step is to film. Filming is one of my all-time favorite parts of having a YouTube channel. I feel super connected to you guys when I'm talking to the camera, and I feel like I've grown a lot as a person and gained a lot of confidence in front of the camera. I used to talk with a very high-pitched, squeaky voice. Do not go back and watch my old videos. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, that's completely besides the point, but I feel like I've come a long way with my filming. So hi, I'm popping in from a little later on in this video. Everything is linked down below equipment wise, so if you want to go get anything, it'll all be down below in the description. In regards, I need to talk with my hands. I feel like I'm not moving my hands because I'm holding this computer. Anyway, I film all of my sit down videos and all of my vlogs with the Canon G7X camera. I'm filming on it right now and it is my best friend. I spend so much time with this thing, in front of this thing, hours. So one moment. Here's what the G7X looks like. Obviously I'm still filming on this one. I have two because this one, long story short, a little girl broke it when she rammed into me on an ice skating rink. A very sad day. Anyway, this camera is amazing because it has a flip up screen, autofocus, which is an absolute lifesaver. If you really want to get serious about YouTube, it is pretty pricey. Occasionally I will use my bigger Canon T6 camera. I use that to take a lot of my Instagram photos, but I don't recommend it for videos. Still a great camera though. In regards to tripods, I actually have my camera on my ring light right now, but normally for my regular setup, which is not this, I'm a little more over there. Speaking of my ring light, I did get this as a Christmas gift. It also came from Amazon and it's lasted me a very long time, and it really just makes everything brighter and better. Lastly, all my audio is recorded on my iPhone. I used to have an audio lav that I would clip to me or clip to my camera, and I thought that was working great. Little did I know the whole time it was broken and the audio was just coming straight from my phone that the lav was plugged into, and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought this was amazing audio. It's been coming from my phone the whole time. So you don't have to buy some fancy audio setup. Also, the Canon G7X doesn't even have an audio plug-in. Anyway, the iPhone has amazing audio quality on voice memos apparently. So this is what the audio sounds like from my iPhone, and this is the audio from my camera. You can obviously tell the difference. Much clearer, cleaner, just sounds better all around. So that is that when it comes to filming. Quality is definitely important when it comes to having a YouTube channel and editing, but you definitely do not need any fancy setup. You can truly film your videos on your iPhone. The quality of a phone is getting so much better every single day. So just use your phone if you have to, and people might even not know that it's not a camera. Okay, now the part you probably all came to hear about, iMovie editing. So once a video is filmed, I stick my SD card into this reader right here, just like this, and I'm covering this because somebody asked me a couple of times to share how I import the videos. So SD card comes from the camera, plug it into the reader, and you might have to get a special one that has a little SD card reader, plug that into the side of your computer. Okay, here's my screen. It's being recorded right now. So basically, this is a vlog that I'm uploading this weekend. I'm doing a week in my life, little preview. So in order to import, you just click this little button right here, and then you can select whatever clips you want to import or just select certain ones. So these are the clips that I'm going to edit that I filmed this morning. Don't look at the thumbnails of those because it's not very attractive. But then you can just go ahead and drag all of the clips you want right into your project. Anyway, once it's all imported, it'll say import complete, click to eject untitled. And you're good to go. You can pull the SD card out and put it back in the camera. So once the clip is fully imported, everything's ready to go. The first and most prominent thing that I focus on, by the way, sorry, I moved over so I could put my screen here, but my screen's not here yet, is cutting out my breaths and pauses while I'm talking during a video. So basically I go through here and I cut out, I've done it right here already, any pauses, so I know right here that there's a pause because I can see it on the audio graph. Boom, split clip, delete. And in order to split a clip, you can just go Command B, or you can double click and press split clip. Some other quick basic things in case you've never used iMovie before. In order to zoom in, you can click on the little crop button and use Ken Burns feature to zoom in just like this. Also, in case you just want to crop a video and leave it in one place, you can click on crop to fill, move that around, and bam. Also, in case you want to flip a clip, make it go upside down, anything like that, these buttons right here do that. Change the volume, you can actually up it all the way to 400, which I do sometimes with this audio if it gets really quiet, but usually it's just left at 100. You can change the speed or reverse a clip with this little button I have selected right here: reverse, normal, change the speed, freeze frame, custom, all that. And then you can add some fun little audio effects and video effects with this section right here. Other than that, there's really no secret to rough cutting. You kind of just have to get it done. But those little features do add a lot to a video and can make it much more interesting and can keep people watching for a much longer period of time. Hello, I'm currently editing the video that you are watching right now, and I completely forgot to mention something really important. It's a little detail, but it can really be a huge lifesaver, especially when editing in iMovie and just for editing in general. So real quick, here's my computer screen. Not the most ideal situation, but I don't want to screen record if I can just show you guys my screen right now. Here's the audio, the video, and my screen recording, aka the overlay. Sorry, my computer screen's so dirty. But when you're editing, if you take a look at this little bar right here, you can make the clip size larger or smaller. So here is a 3-second clip of me mentioning something, and if you hover over it, you can see how long the clip is. But in case you need to get a little closer in and split a clip in a very specific place, if you once again look at this little bar right here, the further you move this arrow to the right, the larger the clips become, and it's easier to see specific things and it's a little more detailed. So just thought I would mention that really fast because I never knew this was a thing before and it was so difficult to get in specific places when editing. So in case you gotta look close, boom, use this little cursor over here. Alright, all of you probably did not come to hear about the basics of iMovie, more so, I guess, the overlays, video effects, all that stuff that you can't get off of the normal iMovie software and kind of have to add in yourself, find your way through that. You might already know about this, but if you don't, my biggest secret of all time about editing on iMovie is to use green screens. Green screens are my BFF when it comes to editing. This is how I add cute text like this, any overlays that you see in my videos, those little fast forward things I do through time lapses. So here we go. There are 2 different ways that I get green screens. I either make them or I find them online. The ones I make are usually for the text. Here and there I'll do my own overlays, but I get a lot of my overlays from editing channels online. So to make my own text overlay like this, I open up the app called Keynote on my Mac. You're probably familiar with this, maybe not. I was not when I first learned about this, but now it's like second nature to me. So here's a whole other thing I was working on before. But just make a little blank slide in Keynote. Once you have that ready to go, change the background color to this second green. Then you click on text. Shows up right here. Type in whatever you want. The Keynote doesn't have the cutest fonts of all time, so you can always import your own. Like I imported this one, it's called Hello Morgan, but I typically just use Helvetica New. Let's type in Tuesday because it's a week in my life. So I'm gonna change the color to white. And these are all things that you can learn, make your own style, all that. I love to add a drop shadow because it makes the text more visible. You can change things up like that. You can change the tracking, or sometimes I just put my own spaces in between like that. Obviously, I'd make that look cuter, but that's just the gist of it. And then you take a screenshot of that, or you can export it as a PDF. Command-Shift-5 or Command-Shift-4. Take a screenshot, boom, capture. Once again, this can get extremely confusing, so please watch again if you need some more clarity or ask any questions in the comments. I read every single one of my comments, so please feel free to ask any questions. Even if this video was posted weeks ago when you're just watching it now, I'll still do my best to respond, so if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Here's my desktop. I have some graphic design projects and a couple other random overlays. So I drag this from my desktop right into the video, just like that. You can move it around however, change the length, and then once that's in your video, on top of the clip where you want it to be. You can make it fade in or out using these little features right here. And then you select the clip. Up here is this little cutaway tool. Tap that, and then under your options here, select green/blue screen, and bam, there you go. Obviously, I would not normally make a little tiny Tuesday graphic like this. It's just not my editing style, but I was just trying to give you guys a little example. And there you go. It's in there, it's ready to go, and it's much cuter than preset iMovie text that fades in and out. It's just not cute. So that makes life much easier and makes your video so much cuter to have little graphics like that in there. All right, so as you learn to get more and more accustomed to using green screens, you can add in your own photos with text. I did this for my playlist video. You can make your own transitions. The list really goes on and on. You can do all kinds of stuff with green screens. Anyway, that is that. Moving right along to green screens that you can find online. There are so many YouTube channels that post green screen transitions, overlays, so much more. I will link some of my favorite editing channels that I pull green screens from down below and some of the green screens that I use in my videos. But in order to find the best ones, you really have to search exactly what you're looking for. And if you're going for a more trendy editing style, search the words like aesthetic green screen pack or film green screen, film fast forward green screen. Just search exactly what you're looking for, and a lot of times it will pop right up for you. There are so many people who upload so many things like that to YouTube. It just makes your life so much easier. So once you find a green screen pack that you love on YouTube, go to a YouTube to MP4 converter. There's a bunch of them online. Download that to your computer. Similarly to the text, you can then drag that into your video, and this is very similar to the screenshot off of Keynote. Tap on green/blue screen and you're done, and makes your video so much cuter and adds fun little effects here and there. The sky is really the limit with green screens. Look up green screen transitions. You can put those in between your two video clips to make a video transition. You can even make your own overlays in Procreate on your phone. It's $5. I can do a whole other tutorial all about that if you guys want me to. But that is the gist of green screens. I hope that was understandable. If you have to go back and watch, please do, because when I first started using green screens in iMovie, I was so confused. I was like, how do these people do this? What the heck is happening? All right, next thing I'm going to talk about is color grading. So this is the one thing where I really think iMovie lacks. Okay, I'm back on the vlog camera. I rambled on and on in regards to color grading and color correcting. I want to give you the most valuable information as possible in this video, and I just went on and on. So essentially, I tap on this color correction tool right here, come right over here, and then tap this little enhance button right there. And that alone does a lot and helps automatically correct the color, but after that I will go in, and then occasionally, depending on the lighting of the video or whether or not this enhance tool does a good enough job, I will bring up or down the brightness. This tool changes the temperature. This one is saturation, so it's a little creepy. And then you can change the shadows, contrast. This one is also contrast, I believe, and then highlights over here, all to your liking. All right, I can't believe I'm almost done talking about this video. My battery's flashing. Yeah, I knew it. I was like, I've been talking for a while. So second to last thing I'm going to talk about is where I find all of my music. Hold on, I'm going to go change my battery. All right, I find all of my music off of a website called hellothematic.com. It's free, which is so nice because I know other websites like Epidemic Sound, Artlist, all those websites are not free, and it's such a pain in the butt because YouTube has so many copyright issues. It just is horrible. So you don't want to get your channel copyright strike, and it's really important to find good music because nobody wants to listen to music that is just not pleasing to the ear. Thematic really just has the best songs that are very filmy. I use this song called Mona Lisa, Warm Nights. Anyway, there's so many songs on there, and you just paste a link in the description of your video to credit the artist, and it is a blessing from above that you don't have to pay for it. All right, the very last thing I'm going to cover in this video is thumbnails. I can do a whole video about how I edit my thumbnails, what I use, but basically the premise of it is I take my thumbnail like this when I'm filming my video, edit it right here in VSCO, add text on the apps Fonto and Procreate Pocket, and add outlines and effects on Pixar. If you guys want me to do a full dedicated video all about thumbnails and what I do that's more in depth, please let me know. But other than that, I really thought I had more to cover in this video. But I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really excited to finally get this video out to you because I've been talking about it for a while, and I always get questions regarding how I edit and filming and what software I use and etc, etc, etc. The list just goes on and on. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you knew about the green screens thing, if you're gonna implement any of these tips into your YouTube channel. Drop all your YouTube handle information below. That way we can all support each other. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I can't believe we're getting so close to 20,000 subscribers. It blows my mind. You guys are amazing, and I cannot wait to see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.